We've talked about how your definition of a good leader is someone that's able to motivate someone to do or to complete a mission that they wouldn't do on their own without your leadership, guidance, assistance. What would you say is your way of motivating someone, building trust with someone, and helping them to accomplish that goal as their leader?
Let them surprise you. Let them trust them. Let people put them in positions, and just like that officer just says what to do and not the how to do it, let them come up with that solution. It's the whole give them the rope to hang themselves type of thing. They're not going to hang themselves. It's a it's a completely different aspect of things. It's a how do we I was on an aircraft carrier a couple of years ago. And I was there with the Secretary of the Navy had brought me, and we're going through, and we're seeing this is a 5,500 person people, 5,500 people on this vessel. It's the USS Bush. And as this is all happening, we go over to the cockpit, right, where they're steering the ship. This large thing that's a skyscraper laid down on its side. And the person driving the ship, this large vessel, is 18 years old. 18! And he's driving this entire thing. Granted, he has some supervisors kind of watching what's going on, and it's not like he's the only person in the room. There's a whole bunch of people helping him steer this, but he's the one behind this wheel. And go up to him and ask him, hey, how long have you been doing this? When did you get your license? He was like, oh, my license? Oh, I got my license to drive a car last week, right? Before I came out onto the ship. Did we let that stop him? Did we have to, just try and yes, training is important, but at some point you need to let people run. So let people run. If you're going to lead them, get out of their way also.
That's good. I like that. You've talked about things that you learned from being in the Army, things that you've applied already in your civilian career or post-Army career. But what would you say are some leadership lessons that the Army taught you that you apply in your everyday life in your civilian career?
I'll tell you, leadership lessons come all over the place. I learned a lot about leadership from my mother, actually. And I've let that influence maybe the majority of my leadership style over the years. She was probably my first example of that servant leadership and a leader that really sacrifices for others. In the Army, one of the things I got was I started to hone my command philosophy. And this concept I developed of not serving fires that I kind of mentioned before. A leader can get really in the weeds with, I always have some fire that's going on. There's some type of trouble that's going on. And you can almost spend 90% of your time on 10% of the issues that are really affecting things. And I didn't want that to be my legacy. And so what I decided was, instead of just serving these fires, what I want to do is remember the other 90% of the people in my organization, otherwise, that were helping me get this stuff done, and reward them. And that's why anytime that I had to take some type of negative action in some type of way, my goal was to always go out of my way to do 3 positive actions to make sure I recognize that, whether it was people that were getting in trouble for something or whatever it was, making sure I write those awards. Hey, something negative happened to us. I need to make sure I go out there and I recognize 3 people for all the good work they've been doing. It helped it where it wasn't just, I didn't even want it to be balanced, right? I want it to be lopsided. I wanted to make sure that if you are leading these great organizations, remind them that they're great and take care of them in that way. I got to see so many of my guys promoted over the years and such, and it's warmed my heart to see that they're still massive leaders in our Army today.
Okay.